With a show of hands, who here is a middle child? After all, we are the best, and you middle children know what I'm talking about. Now, when scrolling on social media, many of you may have stumbled upon videos that pity middle children over the eldest or youngest who receive more attention. The middle child is oftentimes referred to as the forgotten child. Hello, everyone. I'm Mia, and I'm standing here today to contradict all stereotypes that go against middle children and show you how to use them as a way to flourish rather than diminish. These stereotypes are exaggerated in videos when we see the youngest or eldest complain about having mild symptoms of a fever. They get a stain from school, and the parent is seen overly worried about them, as opposed to the middle child who's severely sick but is still obliged to go to school. Or in other videos, when we see parents over their moon after their youngest receives a B on the test, but unfazed when their middle child gets an A. Now, of course, these are just sarcastic skits seen online to portray overstated stereotypes about middle children, but some aspects of them still relate to middle children, like me. Even though we may have not received the most attention growing up, or felt alone when it came to certain times, we middle children should take it as a strength rather than a setback. Because after all, the independence, adaptability, and identity we've gained make us stand out in ways no stereotype ever could. One of the greatest lessons I've learned being a middle child is how to stand on my own 2 feet. When faced with any challenge that life throws at me, my first ever instinct is to solve it on my own. Let me go back to the time where I first learned how to ride a bike. It was a sunny day out in Qatar where I spent most of my childhood. My dad was really passionate about me learning how to ride a bike, and he helped me believe in myself, like how he helped me in many other things in life. I remember him dragging my little bike across the sidewalk of our neighborhood as I trailed behind him. Then he stopped when we came to an open and empty lot. So I got on my little bike with the shiny streamers that flew out of the handles. For the first few minutes, I was relieved because my dad kept the training wheels on. But then, moments later, he took one out. And at first I hesitated, but with his initial push, I gave it my best effort to balance. Another 5 minutes passed, and it was time for me to continue with no training wheels on. Yalla Baba, you can do it, my dad assures me, as I give him a look of fear. But after hearing those words, I scrunched my nose and put my determined face on. At first, my dad held on as I pedaled. But after a few seconds, he let go without my awareness. And before I knew it, I was steering across the empty lot, and I felt like at this moment in time, I could accomplish anything. Fast forward to high school, where I still carry that same grit and determination when it comes to tackling things on my own. Whether it's the work I do in school, or the things I achieve in my clubs, communities, or activities. For instance, being an executive in 3 clubs means that I'm always offering ideas, even if it means doing some of it on my own. In NHS, I came up with the idea of giving out birthday cards and candy to our members. Despite the other execs not as interested in the idea as me, I was still determined to make it happen. And with my initial start, the other execs chimed in and helped me out. It's moments like our first time learning how to ride a bike, or our other firsts in life, that remind us, amidst all the love, care, and support we receive, we have ourselves, so it is important to have self-belief like how others believe in us. When juggling the expectations of older and younger siblings, it teaches you one thing: adaptability. I am a different person when it comes to being around my older brother versus my older sister. With my older brother George, I feel like a kid. This is because growing up, he's given me many lessons, and he has taught me right from wrong. One thing he'd always teach me was manners, and to this day, I thank him for that. When out in restaurants, he'd tell me to sit upright, chew with my mouth closed, to not scrape the cutlery on my plate. With George, I found myself more open to receiving his lessons and following his lead. On the contrary, with my younger sister Krista, I am that older figure, and my role is now reversed. With Krista, I act more mature and responsible, and I'm always after her to make sure she accomplishes and pursues things in life to the best of her abilities. I will never forget the late nights at home when Krista would be in bed trying to fall asleep. We would go off on a tangent as she came to me for life advice or came up with the most random and weird questions to ever ask me. We would be talking for several minutes before my mom would come, storming into my room, angry, stating that it was too late for Krista to be up. Viewing these two different sides of myself made me realize that being a middle child has taught me how to adapt. Nowadays, in times when I face conflict, I know how to mediate between being the listener or the talker, and whether to open my heart to express my emotions or act with my head according to my values and beliefs. Without the pressure of being the responsible oldest or the cherished youngest, we middle children are free to carve our own paths. Being the middle child meant that I witnessed my parents receiving my sister as she was brought into the world, and I witnessed them guiding my brother to go out into the world to explore it on his own. With Krista, I watched her from the day she was born to now being in her first year of middle school. From the journey she's had so far, I viewed my parents as they shifted their attention and patience towards her. Through the type of warmth and tenderness my parents showed towards Krista, I learned how to like them, show that same type of love and care to my sister and other loved ones. Now, just 2 years ago, my brother was preparing to graduate and move to Canada. With this big chapter in his life, I watched my parents as they gave him life advice and lessons that he would take with him as he faced college and lived on his own miles away. What they didn't realize was that I was listening too, learning lessons that I would carry into my own future. However, through it all, my mom was, and still is, proof that contradicts all these stereotypes online. She acknowledges that sometimes she's too busy with my sister or brother, but still makes sure to dedicate time and attention towards me. My relationship with my mother feels like a safe space for me to vent and share my frustrations with life, and at the same time, a space for me to thrive, find myself where we exchange love with each other. And this is all thanks to the type of woman she is. Being the middle child means that I'm able to shape who I am through the things I witness from my siblings and their experiences. So instead of feeling stuck between older and younger siblings, we middle children should take this opportunity and view it as a chance to find ourselves and grow. Looking back, I wouldn't trade my place in the middle for anything because it shaped me into who I am today. So despite people saying that middle kids are unfortunate, embrace it. Take these online stereotypes or dull comments and don't let them define you. Instead, use them as a reminder of the strengths you hold as a middle child. I hope and encourage all you middle children to view yourselves as more than just an overlooked birth order, but as a seed ready to grow and flourish to become the sturdiest tree of the whole forest. Thank you.